I'm in Albuquerque, the biggest city in New Mexico.
Albuquerque is Albucrazy.
I'm here to see what methods of violence and vengeance the world's fastest-growing prison gang is using to recruit members. I'm gonna meet the Burquenos.
In here, numbers is power. The more of us, the bigger problem we are for them.
I'm gonna track down the raw recruits.
But we're gangsters, straight the up.
The gangsters targeted by the Burquenos once they enter prison. I'll talk to Hustler, a street boss of TCK, the Burquenos' biggest rivals, to find out how his gang is staying on top.
Can I just assume that since you're 13, you've been shooting people?
No, I mean, if the time calls for it.
Who are the leaders of the Burquenos, and how do they operate? The Padilla gang is huge in Albuquerque, and I've heard that Jeff Padilla, who has never before spoken on camera, is a top boss.
You got your godfather, who's your dad. You're like Michael Corleone.
That's not a good question.
Can the police combat one of the world's fastest-growing gangs?
If you're a gang member and you see this coming, you better haul ass. I'm Lou Ferrante. I ran my own crew in the New York Mafia. I made millions for the Gambino crime family. I eventually got busted, locked up for 8.5 years. In prison, I educated myself. I realized crime is wrong, and I gave it up for good. Now I teach and write about gang life. I'm gonna use my insider knowledge to unlock the secrets of the world's deadliest gangs.
New Mexico, USA. There's over 250 gangs in Albuquerque alone.
Face the wall.
And when they go to prison, most of them hook up under one flag, the Burquenos.
Squat down and cough.
With no clear leader and a strict code of silence, it's going to be hard to infiltrate this secret prison gang and find the shot callers. But this state has a history of prison violence.
Prisoners took over the institution in the early hours of Saturday, taking guards as hostages and going on a rampage of torture and execution of other prisoners.
33 inmates were murdered in the prison riot of 1980. The prison gangs targeted snitches, some of whom were melted alive with blowtorches. It'll therefore be tough to get people to talk. I got rare filming access to the Guadalupe Correctional Facility, where the Burquenos are ruling the roost. But first, I got to get past the razor wire.
I was granted access to this place a few days ago, but there's been assault after assault. They finally locked the joint down. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get in. Luis Ferrante? I'm in. When a joint is on lockdown, there is zero tolerance. Nothing. You step out of line, you're getting a beat down. They can't have it. Otherwise, a place like this could blow at any second.
In the joint, drugs are the leading cause of violence. Not surprisingly, this joint is locked down over a drug deal gone bad. To control a prison, members from different gangs will team up under the Burquenos banner, but they remain proud of their street roots.
If you listen to all the yelling in here, it's all Burquenos, South Side, West Side, whose gang dudes from. If you listen, it's like a cacophony of just gang music.
I want to crack into this elusive prison gang and find the shot caller.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Luis Fonte.
Dwayne Santiago.
Nice to meet you, Dwayne.
Dwayne is head of the Security Threat Intelligence Unit. In gang lingo, he's the shot caller for the gang busters. When I met Dwayne, he was busting open cells in search of drugs and weapons.
You'll see that they're shaking down the cell right now.
Tell me what most of these guys are in here for.
Homicides, drug trafficking, whatever, possession.
Okay. You guys come up with anything yet?
Nothing yet.
No? Okay.
Nothing yet. Bunch of traffic.
Okay. See the TV right here. It's totally clear. That's so you can't stick a shank at drugs or whatever. And even the remote control here for the TV is clear. These guys got to know you can't plant a razor or drugs. Right here, this is, you can see the mirror. That's a high facility place. because they won't give you glass mirror. They give you these plastic things you buy in commissary. That's so you can't break it and slash somebody's throat. You barely get a shave out of that, but you can shave.
When I was in the joint, we'd flush stuff down the toilet when we saw the guards coming.
Right down here, they're watching us coming. So each of these dudes right here stuck their mirrors out of the cell. They're keeping an eye on us. We don't even see them yet, and they see us. They're on.
Gracias. Zapata, let me look at your tattoos.
All gangs, including the Burquenos, are identified by their tattoos. They display the Duke City symbol, the local area code 505, the Albuquerque skyline, and even the university basketball team logo. To identify gangsters, Dwayne has to stay up on the latest tats.
Yeah, what's the writing going down?
English?
It's better to live on your feet than...
Die like a man, not like a coward.
Right. Okay. What's the P? Padillas? Okay. The Padillas are reputed to be a violent drug gang on the streets of Albuquerque. What else you got, bro? I've heard of them, and now I've seen one. Burque on your back. Is that a family, a club, a gang, anything? Can you tell me what that means? No? Is that like a gang tag or no? No? What's that mean?
Even the Sureño and then the LA. The last one you got was the LA.
All gang territory, where you from?
Want to talk?
No. Every gang has their own symbol and hand sign to show where they're from.
No? Okay, got you, brother.
They may blast their gang names, sport their gang tats, and wave their hand signs, but no one will talk.
All right, got you, brother. Yeah. Nobody wants to talk to me. As soon as you ask, is that a gang, they cut you right off. They clam right up. There's surely a gangster code here that they're all living by.
If I'm gonna find someone to talk, I'll have to go to another prison and try a different route. I've arranged to meet with a con at Las Cruces prison, not far from the Mexican border. This guy asked to be placed in protective custody for refusing to link up with the Burquenos.
Right now, he's under such close watch that I got to go through this whole rigmarole just to get to him. And they're supposed to be taking him through the infirmary as if he's sick and sneaking him around his compound to meet me. Hey, thanks. We're really meeting this guy in the sneak.
For his own protection.
Would they kill him?
Worst case scenario, yeah, they might.
They might.
Yes, sir.
New Mexico's biggest gang, the Burquenos, have a strong code of silence, just like the Mafia. So understanding them is going to be tough.
Nobody even knows we're here, right?
Nobody knows that we're here.
In the Mafia, no one forces you to join. But I'm waiting to meet with an inmate who's in protective custody for refusing to join the Burquenos. As far as I know, he ain't a snitch.
Does this kid even know that he's coming to meet me in the old infirmary or anything like that?
We try to do this in a secret way so that way other inmates in the pot that he's in don't know what he's doing right now.
It's the first time this convict has ever spoken about his experience, and he's asked to remain anonymous for his and his family's protection.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, cool. Thanks for coming. Where'd you come from? The block? They knew where you were going? Other guys?
They finna find out.
What do they think? You went for a medical?
That's what they think.
Okay. They gonna ask questions when you...
Hell yeah. This is no joke. This is me in the pod and people talking shit that want to get me. And if they get a chance, they're going to. That's real talk right there, you know what I mean? I don't know if you guys know.
Oh, I do. If you do whatever
you feel comfortable with, you should know.
Of course I do.
This con is locked up 24/7, and he's still terrified that the Burquenos can get to him.
Well, when I came to prison, everybody's like, oh, you're from Albuquerque, yeah, what's up? Here's some love, shirts, clothes, food, whatever, and that was cool. And then they wanted to like tell me what to do. They told me to go wreck this fool for some drugs or whatever. I told them, no, I'm not gonna do it. I don't care who you are. They didn't like it. And they're like, oh, you gotta prove that you're from here. What if shit pops off, this and that?
And nobody took a shot at you right there on the spot?
Yeah, what they were gonna do was gonna jump me. That's what they're gonna do.
The Burquenos are ruthless. Join the gang or else.
My best decision was to check it in. I guess that's what you would say, check it in. Me being voluntarily or PC'd or checked in right now will be frowned upon. Right now what I'm doing is considered snitching.
But you're not. You never snitched on, never testified against nobody?
No.
Never put nobody in jail?
No.
You know what? You're standing up for what you believe yourself.
The Burquenos know that strength lies in numbers, so their recruitment policy is to inflict violent retribution on anyone who refuses to join.
Thank you for talking to me.
This explains how the gang is growing so fast.
I hope that guy don't have a beef when he goes back to his pod with these clowns, because let me tell you something. He didn't snitch on nobody. He never testified on nobody. He never put nobody in jail, and he ain't ratting on the gang. All he did was say, I'm on my own. See you later, sayonara. That's a man in my book.
The con I spoke with shed light on Burqueno recruitment, but couldn't tell me much more. The key to deciphering who the Burquenos are may lie in their body art.
Every gang member I met has tattoos. These tattoos mean something. Signs, symbols, numbers, it all pertains to the gangs they're in. Well, I made an appointment with this guy who owns a place called New Mexico's Finest. It's a tattoo parlor, and the dude that owns it gave tattoos to gang members inside prison, and he gives it to them outside prison. He's the guy to talk to.
Tattoo artist Rich ran with the Burquenos inside the joint. Now, he runs a legit business.
Rich, you got New Mexico, NM on your neck, and then there's B in the middle.
Yup.
That's the Burqueno?
Yup.
Okay, so that's New Mexico, Burqueno across your neck.
Yup.
Okay. Is the gang your family, the Burquenos?
In prison, they kind of were, you know, because they took care of me. You know, you get in trouble or whatever, they're there, you know. They're there to back you up, and that's just the way it goes.
Explain to me, like, what happens. You're in and you're like, hey, I may as well link up with the Burquenos. Like, how does that work?
In prison, it's different. Like, the rules are a little bit different. Everybody gets a handout on the dope, if dope comes in the system or whatever. Whoever has the most dope in prison is the man, you know? But at the same time, you know, everybody wants to get him, too, you know?
If the Burquenos are growing at rapid speed like they are, breakneck speed, are they going to try to push their weight around on the street, too?
They could if there was enough from out, but like I said, it's a prison gang, you know?
But they're getting released every day. But how long before 20 guys say, shit, we're all Burquenos and we're all free, let's run shit?
It wouldn't be surprising, that's for sure, if they did.
If the Burquenos have figured out how to rule the prisons, they'll eventually figure out how to rule the streets. I'm wondering what type of action controls the streets.
Let's say I came here and I want to be the big honcho. I drive up my big Cadillac with my horns on the front, and I say, yo, I want to run things in New Mexico.
Shit, you got a trunk load of dope, then you're good to go.
Really?
You know? Yeah.
So I'm boss if I got a trunk load of dope.
Hell yeah, you are.
All I got in New Mexico is a rent-a-car.
Yeah, then you ain't getting in. Then you're going to have some troubles.
Yeah.
You're going to have some troubles getting in with the rent-a-car. Thank you.
Be good.
The drug cartels have flooded America with cheap heroin, and New Mexico has become a distribution center.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. Right down there, where those lights are, over 250 gangs are running wild every single night. And they're all after control of one thing: dope.
I'm downtown, and there seem to be gangs on every corner.
Oh, yeah.
Good, nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Rollers Only are an international car club. Around here, they have reported links to drug smuggling.
So let me see. You guys got a flashlight? I want to check out some tats. Let me check it out. Whoa, that's Rollers Only.
There, and I got it right there.
Oh, family ties. I see. Family tie. And this is your family?
We're a family. This is my brother. Like,
Okay.
That's it.
Oh, whoa. I see an AK.
This is how real motherfucking gangsters roll. Albuquerque is Albucrazy, home of the Nuevo. We'll represent to the fullest. I don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way we are. A lot of people will say we're not gangsters, we're not this, but we're fucking gangsters, straight the fuck up. You could get that on camera.
This ain't like no car club I ever joined. AK-47s, family ties, and a brotherhood?
Wow. Hey, what's up, fellas? My name's Lou.
Further downtown, two more gangsters are hanging out right under the cops' noses.
There's a lot of main gangs that most of them no one knows about besides the main ones.
Who are the main ones?
I'm from West Side. way on the west, way up the street. And this is my friend. He's from Los Padillas, if you...
These two gangs are sworn enemies.
You're from one gang, a rival gang of yours, and you guys know that any time one of you can just pull out a gun and kill the other one.
Yeah.
You can't find better friends to hang out with?
But we've been in prison, so it's completely different. Like, all gangs in this whole city team up
in jail.
When you go to prison.
You got Burquenos on you?
I represent Burquenos, but I'm not gonna tattoo it on me.
The common ground between these two otherwise rival gangsters is the Burquenos. It's clear that the Burqueno epidemic has spread to the streets.
Another gang that's from here that we despise, TCK.
So you would kill one of them?
Yeah. I would kill one right now. If if they even just passed by and said TC, they would get shot up by me and that other side.
Everyone will shoot.
Everyone.
Right. I reckon TCK is biting too much off the drug pie. Why else would these guys want to shoot them on sight? Speaking of shooting, there had been a murder just 2 blocks away.
I can't tell you much what it's about. All I could tell you is this guy just got killed. This is the spot, man.
It happened in that parking lot? I want to see if the cops will talk to me and tell me about the incident. It's supposedly happened right across the street.
All it was a fight between Bloods and Crips.
It was? Okay. Yeah. Over here in New Mexico. We didn't even know they're here.
And there's holes that go straight through the brick.
Wow. Okay.
An AK-47, but you'll see it.
Oh, an AK?
Yeah.
What surprised me was when I asked the police officers who it was between, they said it was between the Bloods and the Crips. I said the Bloods and the Crips in New Mexico? Bloods and the Crips started in L.A. So there's another 2 gangs that run wild in New Mexico. There's a bullet hole here, a bullet hole here, another bullet hole right here, another one right here. And then all of a sudden it goes up and you got a bullet hole up here. Whoever took out the AK-47 sprayed it. You could not get out of the way of those bullets. You're dead. There's nowhere to go. You're against the wall. The dude's spraying an AK-47, goes right up the wall with it. You are dead. No way to get out of that. And these you could see. You could see the impact of these bullets. This is a cement wall. Imagine what that does to your skull if it took a piece like that out of a wall.
In one night, there's a different gang on every corner. And more often than not, if they're locked up, they join under one banner, the Burquenos. The gangsters I met last night expressed their hatred for a gang called TCK. Well, I learned that TCK is responsible for most of the gang murders in Albuquerque, part of why they're hated. I need to meet them.
Listen, I ain't a snitch and I ain't a cop. Any question you can't answer, you don't answer.
I got hold of a high-ranking TCK gang member named Hustler, but he's reluctant to talk.
Yeah, of course, I understand. I get it. All right, how long? Okay. All right, brother, bye. Back and forth all day with this dude. Who are you? How do I know you ain't a cop? Give me your information. I'm going to check you out. I'm calling my gang. They're going to check you out. Back and forth all day. Driving me crazy. I'm finally, I think, close. We'll see.
For the past 8 years, TCK has been waging a bloody gang war on the streets of Albuquerque, with over 10 recent homicides.
Where we going, Hustler? Okay.
These guys are stone-cold killers and have never been filmed before. I'm in. A Mexican drug war is being waged right across the border from New Mexico, a U.S. state with over 250 gangs vying for control of its own drug game. I'm about to meet with one of the deadliest gangs of them all, TCK. thugs causing chaos.
Every other gang in Albuquerque is against us.
Okay, how many guys you got?
Probably 500.
And it's rules, codes, you guys live by that?
Yeah, unwritten street rules.
Are there any of them you could tell me?
Don't say nothing, keep your mouth shut. You don't snitch on people. Certain information you just don't give out.
What's the penalty for that?
Get it beat down.
Or
something worse.
Does somebody at the top say, get him, or you just on your own, you see his ass, he's gone?
I don't say that.
Okay. You can't tell me that?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been charged with homicide?
Never been charged.
Never been charged?
No.
Okay. But you have? Can't answer that.
I'm not gonna answer that one either.
Okay. When's the first time you carried a gun?
Probably about 11 years old.
You started at 11?
Yeah.
When's the first time you shot it?
Same.
11 years old?
Yeah.
When's the first time you shot it into a person?
Probably a couple of years after that.
13?
Yeah,
by the time you were 13, you shot somebody else?
Yeah.
So now you're 13 years old. That's the first time you shoot a real person. Can I just assume that since you're 13 till now, you've been shooting people?
No, I mean, if the time calls for it.
Right, on and off. I mean, if the situation's there.
I'm not just going around every day shooting people.
The homicides, what are they over?
Just street shit.
Like?
Just drugs.
You guys got connections to Mexico?
I'm not gonna say that either, man.
Okay.
There's certain things I don't say.
Okay, I hear you. What drug runs the streets of New Mexico?
Right now in New Mexico, heroin.
Heroin.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yep.
So heroin is everywhere on the streets of Albuquerque, and so are the Burquenos, and that's going to cause a violent clash with TCK, vicious gangs, AK-47s, hitmen, and dope.
I'm looking for Sergeant Lerner. How you doing? Nathan Lerner. Nice to meet you. Pleasure. Lou Ferrante.
Are the cops equipped to battle such odds? The sheriff's office have their own special gang unit. They agreed to show me their arsenal in a back alley.
95% of the people these guys meet are good, hardworking people. When these guys come into contact with gang members or criminals, they want to do bad things to us. And they have the arsenal to defend themselves against the criminals.
If I was a gang member around here, I'd think twice.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah. What kind of hole would that put in somebody?
Put a decent-sized hole. Definitely stopped them, as well as the shotgun.
Shotgun too? You got? Can I see it? Wow. Wow, that's a bad shotgun. 12 gauge?
Yes, sir.
If you're a gang member and you see this coming, you better haul ass.
Thank you.
Great. Can I drive?
No. You're lucky you're in the front seat.
Sergeant Lerner is taking me out on a patrol. I want to hear a lawman's opinion of why gangs are running rampant in New Mexico.
10-4.
Sarge, why the gang explosion around here?
We have a state that has very weak gang legislation or has gang laws. And we're surrounded by states that have gang legislation. You've got guys coming out from California, and you've asked them, why do you come out? I'm on my second strike. If I get my third, I'm going to be there for life. Or also, we're in close proximity to the border, so you've got drugs coming across the border, too. And the big game in town is drugs, dope. You know, once a doper, always a doper.
And is that what runs the street?
Drugs runs the street, money runs the street. Whoever's got the money's got the power. Son of a bitch. Turn around.
I don't gangbang enough.
You're Burqueno?
He's wearing Burqueno tattoos in Duke City.
That's his prison time tattoo. That's doing time, basically, the clock.
What's that?
My Southside Loco.
What blows my mind is every time there's a call, every time you talk to somebody on the streets of Albuquerque, they got one tattoo or another that identifies them as a gang member. It's mind-boggling.
Sergeant Lerner's job is to know which gangs are on the rise. His survival depends on it, since most of his calls are gang-related, and he's recently seen a staggering increase in the Burqueno ranks.
The passenger looks like a Burqueno.
The officers pull over a car that looks suspicious, and the occupants are wearing clothes that mark them out as gang members.
He's one of the grip guys on Graveyard. He's going to see if this guy is a Burqueño.
You do know that you do recognize that you are wearing gang attire.
You got any on your back?
This is the only one waiting.
No, I don't want to see.
The cops had nothing on them and planned to let them go. But as we turned the cameras off,
Did anybody tell you to move?
the two gang members try to make a run for
Did
it.
anybody tell you to move? No. That's fleeing. You're moving your vehicle without anybody telling you to.
It's apparent that the Burqueño prison gang is now pushing their weight around on the streets. Lerner and his men are gunned up, but are they ready to fight a united front?
My name's Luis Ferrante.
All right, sir. I've already got y'all down.
I'm back at the Las Cruces Correctional Facility in search of a shot caller. After looking high and low, I at least found a bona fide Burqueño member willing to talk. He's currently held in a maximum security unit, a hell I once called home.
I've lived in the Max. Right here, this is the last door between civilization and the devil's playground. You could tell right away this is a max unit because of the size of it. It's closed quarters. You could keep an eye on everybody at one time. There's only 16 cells, easy to lock them down. They only let 8 out at a time. You're gonna make a move, you're gonna be seen right away. Who you're gonna be seen by? There's the officer right there. And he is well equipped for trouble. These phones, there's only 2 phones. There's 16 dudes in here. There's 3 names there. I know people get 20-minute phone calls in most joints. That's what we had. So after 9, if the phone shuts off at 10, which is what usually happens, those are the 3 guys that dominate the phone from 9 to 10. That's the prime spot you want, because you want to say goodnight to your loved ones or whoever you got on the street that takes your call. So these 3 guys got this phone locked down after 9, probably 9:20, 9:40, and the last guy gets it till 10. He's probably the big shot on the roster, and his name's Gangsta appropriately. This joint's bad, right here.
Judging from the silence, I know I'm in a max pod filled with veteran cons. These guys have yelled themselves out years ago and are now at peace with the time. But they're also the most dangerous to cross. And Ricky was one of them.
Rick. Yeah. Hey, Lou.
Ricky.
Good. How's it going?
All right, you?
Good.
On the outside, Ricky ran with the Southside Lokes. But on the inside, he teams up with other gangsters to make up the Burqueños.
There's somebody in each and every gang who's running shit, who's handling the main business with the dope or whatnot, who's calling the shots with whatnot.
Is the shot caller usually the guy who's most violent, been proving himself for years? Like, that's what I'm curious about.
It's usually just like the older veterano who's been putting it down, who's been putting in work.
Work meaning what? Hits?
Just whoever calls the shots.
And you guys got an active recruitment policy? How's that work?
Each new transport that comes in from Albuquerque, more youngsters, fresh fish. I mean, in here, numbers is power. The more of us, the bigger problem we are for them.
Gang loyalties first, period. That trumps everything.
Before I gave up on all this, I would have had to do what I would have had to do.
So what happened? What shifted? Because you didn't always feel like that, right?
A real wake-up call was I lost my grandfather last year, and...
Sorry. He was like your dad, right?
Yeah, he's the one who raised me, and when I was real young, my dad murdered my mom in front of me. So, my dad killed her, but when I lost my granddad, I just snapped, like, man, I've done a lot of people wrong, and...
Do you think you could stay in New Mexico and go straight?
I don't know. It's all going to be a test. I'm going to see.
And you think your old homies are just going to accept that? Hey, I'm straight. Because it seems like they just ain't buying it down here in New Mexico. Oh, you're leaving the gang. No way. Believe it or not, nowadays, the mafia will release you. You're all right, as long as you don't snitch. Yeah, I mean, I went through it. I didn't snitch. I said I'll do life if I have to, but if I could ever get out of here, I'm done. I'm on my own. You got no friends left. You got nothing but enemies on the street. Where do you plan to go?
I ain't worried about none of these fools. I ain't worried about what anybody thinks.
You got family to help you?
I got a good family behind me. I got good people behind me.
Legit family?
Yeah.
I went through it. My mother died in my arms. I think about it every day. And I spend the rest of my life trying to honor her soul any way I can. I hope you do the same thing for your grandfather. All right, thanks.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, like same here. That dude was hardcore. And another guy who wants to leave this life. He's had it with the gangs, but I don't know. You know, those etchings all over his body, the etchings in his heart are even deeper. You can't get the etchings off your body. I don't know if you could get them off your heart.
So the Burquenos have the prisons locked down, and they're working at controlling the streets. But who's controlling the Burquenos?
The FBI isn't finished with the notorious South Valley Los Padillas gang.
Agents and local cops continue to bust up the family-run gang and its criminal network.
The core Padilla family are all serving time for drug trafficking, and reputed heir to the throne, Jeff Padilla, is nearing the end of a 14-year bid for first and second-degree murder.
Agent Chavez?
Yes.
Hey, Lufrante.
How are you? Welcome to DEA.
The Drug Enforcement Agency have agreed to tell me more about the Los Padillas gang.
Over the last 20-plus years, one of the signature criminal enterprises of, the Los Padillas gang is drug trafficking. They are going through tons of marijuana over a period of a year, multiple kilos at a time of cocaine, and multiple pounds of heroin at a time. A lot of these family members, you've got Jerry Jr. and Jerry Sr., they're already in prison for drug charges, in particular heroin. And then you have Jeff on homicide charges, and he's currently right now in state prison in Las Cruces, a couple 100 miles away. Given his history, given, again, his experiences out on the streets, I can easily see that as some of the Burquenos looking up to him for answers, for guidance, because he's been there, done that.
Can he be a shot caller for the Burquenos?
Yeah, no, I mean, Jeffrey Padilla definitely could be a shot caller. He's got that leadership potential to, be in that position, still in prison.
This is the guy I've been looking for, and he's right here in Las Cruces.
I'm here to meet Jeff Padilla, possibly the next heir to the Padilla family throne, the next godfather in waiting. And these guys ain't small potatoes. They're not like a lot of these New Mexican gangs that are trying to make ends meet, struggling to put something together. They're real money, old money, mafia money.
Dwayne Santisfan from the intelligence unit agrees to take me into Jeff's backyard.
This is the rec yard.
In the yard, whenever cons are following someone, they're about to make a move.
Now, if we'll hold on a second, let's let these gentlemen pass by. So if I start walking again, are you guys gonna follow me? No? Thanks. All right. On this bench right here, you'll have mostly Burquenos on this.
These are
bench right here.
Burquenos.
And they'll make it known. They'll line up just like that.
Looks like roll call.
They're making their presence known.
What kind of respect is that guy getting here if he walks onto the compound?
My sources tell me that he's one of those inmates that doesn't get his hands dirty. If you know what I mean. Because he's a well-known leader of one of the strongest traditional gangs out of Albuquerque. Members of Los Padillas are the ones calling the shots for the Burquenos.
He can call the shots for them.
Although he has not been identified as a Burqueno.
And they would do his bidding?
Yes.
That was good.
How you doing, Luke?
Good, you got a mean game, bro. Yeah, good. Got a mean game.
I know from experience that the most seasoned shot callers are usually hiding in plain sight. Jeff is a pro and has never before spoken to an outsider.
My first name, I'm named after my father. My middle name, I'm named after my grandfather. It's like an Italian tradition. What's up with all the J's? I see there's like a continuity there with the Padilla family.
They named us all after my father, Jerry Lawrence Padilla, and my brother Lawrence Padilla Jr., all my brothers and sisters.
JL, across the board.
And we all named all our kids, 30, 40 kids that are named JLPs. And I tried to break the tradition. I tried to name my daughter Alexis. And he called.
Whoa.
Yes. That's how I did not understand it till we went to the family meeting. My brother told me you don't have the right to change it. It's almost like we have a certain order of respect for our family to giving my brother respect. Just like for this interview, I wasn't allowed to do this interview without asking for his respects on it, and he said that's fine. And he knows that I'll hold on to our integrity and not try to belittle anybody or try to be somebody important other than speak on what I believe in.
Family, respect, structure. Jeff is definitely the real deal. I'm hoping he'll talk to me about his crime family and his relationship with the Burquenos. I'm on the hunt to find the elusive prison gang, the Burquenos, a gang that has taken control of New Mexico's prisons. From the streets of downtown Albuquerque to the cells of Las Cruces, I've been looking for a shot caller, and I think I found him.
Muchas gracias, bro. Thank you.
If you're done, step in or step out.
And go heavy on the rice.
Jeff Padilla may be a convicted killer, but he's nice enough to invite me to lunch.
Jeff, what are you doing time for?
They charged me for arranging and putting a hit on somebody.
Okay.
As well as a second-degree murder.
So 2 dead bodies.
All in all, that's what I'm in here for.
When I looked into the Padilla family, I said, whoa, this is exactly like a New York Italian mafia family. You know, you got your godfather, who's your dad. He's like Marlon Brando from The Godfather, from what I read. You're like Michael Corleone.
I don't wish to comment on that at all.
How about articles in the newspaper that said you guys had like politicians even in your pocket? That's power. Is there any truth to that stuff?
I don't comment about stuff like that.
Okay. And your father is the same guy who's been accused of, reputed to be, the boss of the family.
It's worded off course.
Okay.
I do not see, I do not.
But that's not what I'm saying then. It's what I'm getting from other people. So defend yourself against that.
The only thing I do say is our family is very unique through the Southwest. I do not answer or accept any question or would like to be labeled as a family of that sort. Me, myself, I believe that I'm here to do my time for myself. And I feel that holding on to who I was raised to be is holding on to my integrity.
Who were you raised to be? You grew up the tough life if you ended up here.
At 5, 6 years old, when others were learning how to ride a bike, as well as I was learning how to ride a bike, I was laying in bed as a kid, deciding how I was going to keep my mouth shut if I ever been put in a position to have to answer any questions or have to rat on anybody. I was instilled in that by my mother, my father, and as well as me and, all right, brother, as well as me and my brothers. All of my brothers were taught to keep our mouths shut.
I get it that you can't talk about it. You're doing your time like a man, you haven't ratted on nobody, and you're not going to make ratty statements now. I totally respect that. Whatever they think about you or say about you in the press, in the courts, it carries over into here somehow because you're a respected guy in here. And anybody I talk to is ready to say, yeah, he's the guy. How's Jeff Padilla? Is he somebody? Yeah. Can he call the shots if he wants to? Absolutely. Will the different gangs in here, like the Burquenos, will they listen to him if he tells them something? They damn sure will. How do you explain that?
I do not view that as in that matter. I do not view it in that matter, except that question, or will I talk on that? That's not a good question. Thanks.
Jeff shuts me down, but like a true mafioso, he's a gentleman about it until after lunch.
What good is an interview of who I am without telling who I become? Because if it's telling who I was and it does not portray it in a rightful manner, then it's one-sided. So in reality, I don't feel right participating, you know? I'm a respected man in the community. I'm loved, so I feel that I want to explain who I've become now. I feel that it's necessary to represent my family fairly.
Oh, you feel you were shortchanged?
No, I just feel to explain who I am today is very, very important to me because...
Tell us now.
Who I am is I'm the boss of a company that is established in the Southwest. I own politicarecords.net, and it's a company that represents the people, the struggle, the hurting, the pain of New Mexico.
When I decided to change and turn my life around, a lot of things I didn't want to recognize, I had to recognize, because I had to say, you know what, I can't run from it, I can't deny it, it is what it is. If I'm going to change, I got to face it and move forward. So I'm a different guy, maybe, but I'm telling you, if you want to change, because I did change, this is my advice to you. Maybe you got to start recognizing some things. You got to say, we got a drug problem here, and we got to stop it. And maybe I'll use my power to stop it instead of facilitate it, make it worse. When I went through my own changes in jail, I said, shit, I feel bad for the people I traumatized. I stuck guns in people's mouths. I shot people. I had no right to do this. I didn't say I won't recognize that I did it. I said I did it. I had no right to do it. And I want to get out of here and then change my life. So I'm saying it right now to you. I did it. When you're willing to say that, I believe you. When you're willing to say, shit, man, I feel bad for the 2 guys I offed. Or for their families. Maybe they had it coming. It was me or them. I got them before they got me. But I feel bad for their mothers at night when they cry because their kid's dead. When you tell me something like that, I'll say you changed.
I respect Jeff for keeping the code of silence. But now I know why the authorities are struggling to identify the Burqueno gang structure.
Jeff Padilla, will he ever not be a gangbanger? Does he even realize he's a gangbanger? If it's part of his heritage, part of his tradition, and he sticks to that story, if he believes it, he could never be nothing but that. And I think he believes it.
The Burquenos are on the rise, quickly outnumbering rival gangs, and seasoned gangsters are steering their ship.
Hello. Hey, how's it going? I could do that. Perfect. Will do. Bye.
Ex-Burqueno member Ricky just got paroled and wants to meet me. Maybe he's changed.
Hey, what's up, Ricky?
How's it going?
It's nice to see you without chains on.
To start with, he's happy to be home and living with his grandmother.
This looks like a real Italian kitchen with the angel with the ass sticking out.
The last time I spoke to Ricky at Las Cruces prison, he was getting out of the gang life and staying off the drugs.
I remember, I'll never forget it as long as I live, my first day out.
It's cool. I couldn't sleep just because I was excited to see all my family. It was like surreal. It was like...
Yeah, surreal. Did your homies from the street try to get in touch with you?
I ran into a couple people that I knew last night. One of the guys, he was just like, well, here's my number. If you need anything or you want to holler at me, just holler at me. I was like, yeah, all right. I pretended like I put it in my phone. And
so he's a drug dealer?
It is what it is.
Wow, they send the devil right after you. How hard is it going to be to stay off drugs? Have you given that thought?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard. I'm put all my heart and put my everything into it.
Gang or family?
Family, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I could very easily pick up the phone and call a couple people and...
You would betray everybody here?
Yeah, exactly.
But we always loved him, and we have always felt that he was going to come back. He's home now. And he is going to do good, or I'm going to kill him myself. Pop my back while you're at it, sweetie.
Grandma, I heard you.
See, I'm struggling to think.
Appreciate you guys coming out here, and God bless you.
Good luck. Same here. All right, good luck.
Right.
Be well, okay? Stay well.
The Burquenos may have lost Ricky for now, but with a fearsome recruitment drive and their numbers doubling last year alone, I think this prison gang will soon hit the streets hard and rival other infamous gangs across America.